So here we're going to show you an example on how to set up a timer table for either hall call eligibility, security, parking. So first we're going to figure out what the dispatcher is. In this case we have iCue is a dispatcher. So we're going to need to open up iView. We're going to go to File, Config Connection, Open, iCue. Okay, so once you're connected to iCue, you're going to be in the System Configuration tab first, the very first screen that pops up. So these are the current configurations that you are on right now. If you go to configurations here on the left side, so we want to make sure that it's set to timed. Most likely right now it's set to manual, so put that to timed. We want to see our dispatching engine is set to DVD. So now we're going to test to make sure it's all working fine without any security on it or any lockouts. So we're going to click a kiosk call. So we verified that this is configured for floor location, the 3rd floor. So we're gonna, and we're at the 11th floor right now and the 13th floor for car 2. So take car 1. It's gonna go to floor 3 first. So now it's going to take the passenger to floor 2, open up its doors. Alright, so now we got that squared away. Now we're going to actually set up a timer table to lock out that floor 3 so you can't make a hall call from floor 3 because we only have one kiosk right here. So we're going to go to View, Configuration tabs, Security. So here we're going to want to log on. Manager is the password. Make sure it's all lowercase, MANAGER, enter. We are now logged in. So here we're going to go to hall calls, per floor security. So right now the active configuration is set to 1. What we want to do is set it to a different configuration. So when it goes to that certain time of day, it'll switch to 2 or 3. So here we're going to make sure we click on configuration. We want to make sure that that's set to timed as well. Go to per floor security. We're going to change configuration to 2 from 1. And we're going to go ahead and lock that 3rd floor. Okay. We're gonna send it. So that's for configuration 2. Notice that the active configuration is still set to 1. So now we're gonna go to View, Configuration tabs, Timer tables. We're gonna click on under features, We're gonna click on that down arrow. We're gonna go down to security. We're gonna highlight box 1. We're gonna click add. We're gonna want to look here on the left side for security, and we're gonna put that to 2. Remember we changed it before to 2. We made the parameter changes on there, so we're gonna name it timer name. For example, lockout third kiosk. So we're gonna keep in mind too, we want to make sure that the time is the same. So we have 9:22 a.m. here on the Windows PC, and we have 9:22 a.m. on the iCue program. If you need to change that, just double click on the iCue time and change the time on there, acquire your write privilege, and then press send. So here's 9:22, so we want to start the time at, for example here, let's say 9 a.m. and we're going to end it at 10 a.m. We're going to click OK. So here it would tell you the timer details. We're gonna send it. We're gonna go back to that security tab up here. If you notice now, the active configuration now is 2 for timed configuration. So this kiosk is set up to be at the 3rd floor. So we're gonna press a kiosk call, and it should prevent you from making a call. There should be totally locked out, because on per floor security we have the 3rd one with a lock for main, and configuration 2, let's just make sure we put a lock for the down as well. Send that. So now we're gonna attempt to make a kiosk call. Let's say to the, so right now the elevators, car 1 is at the 2nd landing, car 2 is at the 13th landing. So it's not gonna let you make any kiosk call in there because it's totally locked out now. So that's an example of how to lock out your kiosk mode. If you just want one car to prevent from using hot calls and the rest of your cars are allowed to, we're gonna show you that right here. So we're gonna uncheck this, unlock, send it. So let's just make sure we got it back in action. Do. All right, so that's unlocked. So we're gonna boom, make a couple more. Okay. So now we have car 2 as well. So if we want to make one car not answer any hall calls during a certain amount of time for kiosk mode, that's the hall call eligibility. So you're going to go back to system configuration tab. You're going to click on bank A. We're gonna select a car to configure. Let's just do 1. And we're gonna go ahead and uncheck everything, all the hall calls for car 1, just to make sure that when you press a kiosk call, that car 1 does not take the call because it doesn't have any eligibility. So select car to configure. We're gonna deselect all of them. So we're gonna select a hall call configuration here at the top. We're gonna put that to 2. We're gonna deselect. They're all unchecked. We're gonna send it. We're gonna go back to timer tables. So let's just remove this for now. Send. We're gonna go back to features. We're gonna go up to hall call eligibility now. We're gonna do timer name. We're gonna add it. Now we're gonna change hall call eligibility to 2. Timer name, we're gonna say lockout car 1 for hall calls. All right, start time. We're gonna start it at 9 a.m. End time 10 a.m. Okay, we're going to send it. Now we're gonna go back to system configuration tab, and we're going to go to configurations. So if you notice here, hall call eligibility is now 2 for timed. Bank A, hall call configuration 2. So car 2 is still with the check marks. We're gonna open up this screen and we're gonna see if we can give it a couple kiosk calls, and car 1 shouldn't be able to move anywhere. Remember before how it was giving car 1 first, the hall call? So now it's gonna give it to the rest of the elevators now. So that same goes for if you want to do timer tables for car calls as well too. So if you want to lock out car calls or change the security for car calls configuration, you could also switch the configuration. You can switch it to 2 and pretty much do the same thing for car calls. On this add timers, just keep in mind you also have options for parking eligibility, mode of operation, active dispatching engine if you want to set it to a certain time to go back to estimated time arrival from DBD mode, or CFSS eligibility. You just got to make sure that it's set to timed as well. So you have parking, make sure it's set to 2, and then you can go in there and change your eligibilities as well too. So, and then you can make sure that it switches over during that time that you set it at. You can see on what's active. Hopefully this video has helped you.